Salut pour tous et soyez les bienvenus dans le programme Planète Équitable avec Adesanete. And Merry Christmas to you all around the globe, especially those which were able to be with your families celebrating this time of the year. And it is important when we are talking about the role that theater have on sustainability. See how this history of the birth of Christ sustained itself with the theater over the centuries. This is a very key, important role that theater have in the society to keep those messages going through the centuries. So it's an important role on when we're talking about the theater and sustainability is the actual dramaturgy that is involved in the plate, but also of course there are the environmental impacts caused by the theater, which we already talked a little about. And one of the main impacts, which could be the main impact of a spectacular, is the acquisition of goods and services. And through the let's say supervision of what is acquired through this buying of goods and services, the theater can approach this production chain of the shows in order to make it more sustainable, that the materials and services that you will be using to produce that plate will come from sustainable sources, from low carbon sources. So this could have a major impact on the presentation when it comes, for example, to greenhouse gas emissions. Every plate, every spectacle that you go and watch in Brazil, because we have a very clean energy power source, it will mean something between 150 and 200 kilos of CO2 that each person has a responsibility for when he or she is watching a plate. When you are in any other country in the planet, it will be something around 300 kilograms of CO2 that got emitted, so you can watch the plate. So that's the overall number we have in terms of greenhouse gas emissions for a plate, which is not following the goods and services it is acquiring. So you can reduce your emissions by controlling that. Anyhow, 150 to 200 kilograms of CO2 if you are watching a plate in Brazil, 300 kilos of CO2, it's your responsibility on greenhouse gas emissions for the plate you are watching. Let God's peace and the love that builds be our weapons on our daily struggle for justice. Adesanete, futuras amigas África.